You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Over the course of the season, I guess the last 2 seasons, Go Time Dolphin fans have been used to immediate reactions after games. The moment the game finishes, we jump on a podcast, we talk about it, win, lose, don't really have draws in the NFL, so, no draws. So you're probably thinking, well, after Sunday's game, why wasn't there no Sunday podcast? To peel back the curtain, we had it ready. Charlie said, actually, let's wait until after the Chargers game because, there was still a slim chance the Dolphins would have something to play for against the Patriots. The Chargers took care of business, and the Dolphins officially were eliminated out of the playoffs. Charlie also said, and I don't blame him because I was the exact same way, straight after that game wasn't the time to talk about the Dolphins. Sometimes it's not about being first. Sometimes it's about gathering your thoughts. And, before I pass over to Charlie, there's been a few times while doing this podcast after a game, or during a game, I want to turn it off because it's like, you know what? We're going to lose. Today's not for me. But we have to watch it because we have to jump on this platform after and speak about it. And it's a blessing and it's a curse because on days like Sunday, where the Miami Dolphins lose 34-3 to the Tennessee Titans, you don't want to watch it. You don't want to talk about it. You just want to put it to bed. So I've got a 2-part question for you, Charlie. The first part is, did you ever watch back the Week 17 game against the Bills last season? And your thoughts on yesterday?
I did watch the Bills game last year, and we got a whole podcast to talk about my thoughts about yesterday. But I will say this. You said that pretty well. And for everyone who follows the show, most of us know that LB was the person who said, hey, you guys should start a podcast. We had this idea for a couple years, and we ended up starting. We're going on our 3rd season soon. This is the end of the 2nd season right now. And it was the best idea since sliced bread. Oh yeah, we get to put on for everybody, right? Get to be the voice of the Dolphins for the fans. And it's a great idea. It's so good when it's good, right? You get fans, people interact with you. A lot of things, a lot of perks having your own platform and podcast. And you talking about the Dolphins. You talk about the Dolphins every day. You might as well do it and hit record, right? But there are days where you wish, or at least speaking for myself, I wish I did not have a Miami Dolphins podcast. There are days. Yesterday, well, I guess we're recording this on Monday, so everyone knows. Yesterday was that day. There was one of those days, like not the day, right? And to be fair, Kadeem left it out, and we were going to record right straight after the game, get live reactions. Sometimes it might be best to take a few hours before you record, but at least people get to know exactly how you felt. And yesterday, the playoffs were on the line, and we wanted to see how everything played out before we came to record. And not even, I'll say that was 10 minutes after the game. And then about 5 minutes after that, I'm like, you know what? And I called Kadeem. And I said, hey, Kadeem, bro. In the best interest of mental health, we cannot record tonight. Like, I was like, listen, I can't do it right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not going on right now. And you know, and when I say mental health, there's a hint of sarcasm in there, but I'm serious too, because this platform is good to like voice your opinion, get your ideas out. Let's do this, let's do that. This is what we should do with the team. We got receipts. Let's draft this guy. But at the same time, on the flip side is, yo, now the whole world gets to watch me vent like live, like a response that probably shouldn't be out right now. And it's like, man, no, we don't have to do this. So we won't. And just to be fair, bro, it was terrible. Like, my heart hurts. Straight up, my heart hurts. No one can tell me that we were 2 games away from the playoffs. And then if someone said, hey, you're not going to be in the playoffs after today, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're about to make our playoff run. We're going to put to bed a lot of the oh, you guys didn't play nobody. Oh, Tannehill, y'all should have kept Tannehill. He's the best quarterback y'all had since Marino. Oh, Tua's not the guy. He's not a franchise quarterback. We're going to put to bed a lot of this stuff. 7-game win streak was a fluke. Just put it to bed, right? Just put it to bed. No, we didn't put it to bed. We got put to bed. We got put to bed. Like, we got our tails handed to us. And not only that, and we're going to get into how we got our tails handed to us. We will. We got plenty of time. We will. But sometimes this podcast can be therapeutic. It really can. You just talk, you vent. Had we recorded yesterday, it might not have been the best thing. I don't think it would have been therapeutic. I'm speaking for myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't do it. Like, nah, I'm not doing it. Kadeem was ready. I said, nah, bro, I'm not doing it, bro. Like, we gotta chill. I'm gonna bring it back in, bro. But it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Miami Dolphins were eliminated from playoff contention as they take the L to the Tennessee Titans 34-3. 34-3. What you got, Kadeem?
When you said what the Dolphins got put to sleep or got laid to rest or whatever, like when you said that, so long-time listeners of this show, we like to give credit to other podcasts and other comedians and stuff like that. And when you said that, my first thought was Kevin Hart voice. You want to go night-night? You want to go night-night? Because the Dolphins went night-night in the worst possible way. And like, I think it's weird. It's like, as we record this, it's like you got that dark background, but it's like it's to me it feels eerily quiet. It's like we're at a funeral. And I don't have that feeling when we record other podcasts. To me, it just feels dead. It just feels empty. It feels like me and you had a conversation on Saturday night, and we was both positive about this game, and I said to you, if we don't lose, so if we don't beat the Titans, no matter what happens, Tua is going to get the blame. What I didn't expect was for Tua to play like that. And as that game was going on, as things got worse and worse and worse, as the Titans kept on scoring, as Tua just didn't keep improving, you could just see social media. It literally turned into Tua haters going, "I told you so." And we're both Tua fans. But what kind of gets to me the most is that as Dolphin fans, there were Dolphin fans who were rooting for this kid to fail. And it's like the larger extension of that is if Tua fails, we fails. If Tua loses, the Dolphins lose. Like, I'm also a Man United fan. And Man United played on Monday night. Man United lost. Man United played bad. And one of my Man United friends said, I hope we lose. And I literally said, what does that achieve? And I genuinely feel like there are Miami Dolphin fans out there who hoped Miami lost and Tua played bad, so they can turn around and say, I told you so. Now, I'm not like, how you support your team, do it however you want. But the key word in that is support. And you're not supporting the team if you want guys to fail. And listen, I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that we love the kid. Like we are desperate for Tua to succeed in Miami. Yesterday's performance has, rightfully or wrongly, reopened that entire can of worms of, is he the guy? And before I hand back to you, let me get this perfectly straight. Tua wasn't the reason we lost 34-3. Like, in no way is it only his fault. He was horrendous. Probably his worst game since that Bills defeat at the back end of last season. And it's like, dude, if you're going to have bad games, those aren't the games to have them. But it's also like, for the 2 Titans passing touchdowns, the guy's wide open. I sat here in this very seat and on this very platform and said, the key to victory is not falling for that play action. Derrick Henry wasn't in the backfield. And on both of those passing touchdowns, the Dolphins rushed that line of scrimmage like it was 3rd and 1, and Derrick Henry was about to have a fullback dive or something. There's no reason as to why Donta Foreman had something like 135 rushing yards. Like, so Tua wasn't the problem yesterday, but in no way was he the solution. And this isn't that, again, we're going to have so many episodes where we're going to go back and forth with other, Dolphins fans who are going to bounce this podcast about whether Tua is the answer. But as much as I wanted the Dolphins to win yesterday, I genuinely wanted Tua to play well. And like you said, to close those questions, to shut people up, and the kid didn't.
Bro, I have a headache already. We 10 minutes into the show, bro. We're 10 minutes into the show and the headache is here. I was just that, like, I had a migraine watching the game yesterday. Like, you got to be kidding me, right? So let's get into the game itself. Like, let's really get into what happened. Tua did not pick the right time to have the worst game ever. Bad game to have a bad game too. He didn't pick the right time to have a bad game. How can we, if we could do it over, all right, what do you think would be different? And I'm going to tell you what I think would be different, because this is what I think should have happened anyway. There's keys to success. When I say we match up with this team, which I said in the preview, we match up. Styles make fight. We match up with Tennessee. We needed to force Tannehill to throw the ball. We had to stop the run. This is just football 101. Tannehill is not what people think he is. He is what we thought he was. All right. He's not I told this to LB. I said Tannehill could win the Super Bowl, but I don't want someone who can just win the Super Bowl. Mark Rippon won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson got a ring, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eli Manning has a ring. He has 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are bad quarterbacks. So Tannehill, not saying actually Tannehill's better than them, actually, but he's still not upper echelon. That's why we had to move on from Tannehill, because he's not enough. All right. Yeah, he's cool, whatever. Game manager, you can win like that. Tannehill threw the ball 18 times yesterday. Of the 18, it was really like 13 that really mattered. All right. Tua threw the ball like 40 times. You about to say something?
I grabbed my phone because that's the point I was going to make. So, Tua passed the ball 38 times and we rushed the ball 13 times.
Let's stop. Let's get this right. Like, I need everyone who tuned into this podcast. I got to see what they're gonna say, or I like the Dolphins. I like Charlie and Kadeem. Go Time Dolphins, pretty good podcast. They're not my favorite, but I still like to tune in and listen to them. I don't know your reasons for tuning in and rocking with us, but we rock with you. Share, like, and subscribe. We appreciate you. But let's be real for a second. It's bad conditions. We call it the Mud Bowl down here in South Florida. You got the Mud Bowl, North Dade versus Miramar, right? It's raining. And your idea of the keys to victory is to throw the ball 40 times? Like, and for anyone who says, oh no, we had to start throwing because we were behind, we were only behind 2 touchdowns. Into the fourth quarter, we were down 2 touchdowns. So it's not like we were down 3 touchdowns or 3 scores or 24 zip. We were down 2 touchdowns, predominantly the most of the game, but we were still only down two touchdowns. You can still run the ball. Duke Johnson had 7 carries for 49 yards rushing. They told me there would be no math on this show, but you know what's funny, Kadeem? Because I played football so much in the street football, I used to calculate 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. So when I do my multiplication in high school, 7 was the easiest number for me to remember because I played football all the time. They told me there wasn't going to be no math on the show, but I know that 7 carries for 49 yards is an average of 7 yards, bro. So you telling me Duke Johnson was averaging 7 yards a carry and we just stopped running the ball? And it wasn't because we were down 14 points, because Duke had like 4 touches in the first quarter. So for me, forget who you go for. If you're a Dolphin fan, you're a Dolphin fan. Tua had a terrible game. We're going to get there. I promise you we will.
Of course.
But you got to go to what are you thinking about with these plays right now? It was the adjective that I used while I was watching the game in real time was grueling. Like, this was like pulling teeth, 3 and outs for both teams. Punts, there was like 4 punts in the first 8 minutes, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it was this is playoff football. This is what I thought the game would be. It was going to be a tough game, and we were going to edge them out by like 4 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think we are going to blow them out. This is what as advertised, right? Back and forth. I know we want to see blowouts. Not going to happen. And then, in the first quarter, Tua had the fumble, throwing the ball. I don't know why you want to throw the ball so much in the rain. That's not on the coach. Tua fumbled the ball. Okay, cool. But you threw the ball 40 times, bro. Like, your idea of keys to victory was to throw the ball 40 times in the rain. I don't understand that. I don't understand you doing this in these conditions. But okay, we'll get there. It happened. All right, turnover. Gave him a free 3 points. They already scored 7, and that put them up 10 zip first quarter. They go a whole 3 quarters, bro, without really scoring. Well, I don't want to say really scoring, but going up 14-3, or I'm sorry, 17-3. 17-3 for a whole 3 quarters. The game was in reach. Tua does not play defense. Foreman was breaking through holes. Somewhere in like the third quarter, he broke for like 35 yards to really kind of like, the morale was not there no more. You know what I'm saying? So all of this, Tua blew it, bro. The game was in reach. The game was in reach. All right. Defense need to stop somebody. Tua ain't play safety since high school. All right. He don't play safety for us. All right. You got to make these tackles. You got to tackle somebody, bro. Like, why is it that the Titans figured it out? We have to run the ball, but the Dolphins ain't figure it out. We're not going to put, even if you're a believer that Tua is not the quarterback, let's go there for a second. If you believe Tua is not the quarterback, why would you let him throw the ball 40 times a game? Why would you not hand the ball off and minimize him to what Tannehill just did? Only throwing the ball 18 times, really 14 times that really mattered. If you don't believe he's your quarterback, Titans know what Tannehill can and cannot do. That's why they didn't ask Tannehill to throw the ball 40 times a game, because Tannehill is not the quarterback that's going to kill you like that. You know what I'm saying? Tua is capable of being that, but you got to look at the conditions. You got to know your terrain. Sun Tzu, Art of War. I got that on my bookshelf over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know your terrain. You got to know your enemy. And coming out throwing the ball 40 times a game ain't going to get it done, especially if you don't believe Tua is the quarterback. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, yes, Tua had and it's so funny that he didn't have a pick, right? And I will say that he needs to be better with ball security off the bat. If you're in a tempest and you're running double reverses and having Mike Gesicki throw the ball and running it's rainy, the ball's wet. Y'all remember that first down that we got on fourth down where Tua like gently threw the ball? Like, I need to make sure Durham Smythe gets this. If you know these are the conditions, why on God's green earth would you say this is a good idea to have two double reverses where there's 4 handoffs in a play? Why would you do that? Come on now. I'm just saying.
No, so like, if I haven't seen the All 22 yet, because I want to watch the All 22 before I really, like, put myself through that grueling, horrible, like, basically torture myself. But there it is. But like, if I remember correctly, the Dolphins started off well. Like, I think like with the first pass to a foul model, big player, like, okay, cool, yeah.
Oh, the first drive was nice. We was moving, and then Austin got the penalty.
And so I sent Chris Adams a voice message earlier, and it's literally like the game started. We had 2 big completion on passes. Was a screen to Gaskin, I believe, and Gaskin broke again. Big play, flag. Got my flag. Holding penalty, brought it back, and it's literally at that. To me, it felt like at that exact moment, the Titans stopped and went, "Hold on, we're in a game now. Let's suit up. Let's be ready." And the Dolphins felt themselves and was like, "Okay, ignore that play. We're gonna keep throwing the ball." And to me, up until Tua found Waddle deep, the rest of that game were just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision from everyone. And again, I know they're going to be a part of this podcast where we're going to really talk about Tua, but the game plan made no sense. And like you said, it's not like get Tannehill to be. If Tannehill had 400 yards, 35 passing, 4 touchdowns, I go, do you know what? Yeah, fair play. Dude, fair play. But you don't let the Titans' third string running back move like Derrick Henry. There were times that the Dolphins were having him in the backfield, and he was like, "Get off me!" He's like, "Get off me!" And I was there watching, just going, "This is deja vu. This is week 17 all over again." But in week 17, we were just like, to me, the play that summed up everything, the entire Dolphins season, the Dolphins at the moment, was the actual interception that Tua threw. He should have thrown 2 before, 100%. But the one he actually threw, he throws to Gesicki,
hits him in the chest,
and then he fumbles it, kicks the ball up in the air like he's playing football, like he's Cristiano Ronaldo, and was starting to kick up. An interception. And at that point, it was just like, yeah, I think at one point, I think it might have been a Jalen Waddle drop. And I just tweeted, and here come the drops. Like, it's before we really delve into Tua's performance, because I feel like that's what you just kind of have to go to at this point. Again, I spoke to Chris Adams, shout out the Finn's Tailgate show and podcast and stuff, and on the same day that Tua put in that performance, at the exact same time, Joe Burrow helped the Cincinnati Bengals not only beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but wrap up the AFC North and clinch a playoff berth. On the same day that Jalen Hurts won a game to give the Eagles a playoff berth. And was it the same week or the same day that Justin Herbert set the single season touchdown record for the Chargers with something like 35 touchdowns, I think it was. On that same day, Tua put in that performance. LB.
Yeah, I got it too.
Yeah. And it's as Tua fans, we've gone back and forth with various fans across the entire NFL about should the Dolphins have moved up for Joe Burrow? Should the Dolphins have taken Justin Herbert? Was Jalen Hurts a better Alabama quarterback? Should the Dolphins have taken Jamar Chase? On that same day, on the same day, all these questions piled back in, and it's just like we were sold the bread and butter of Tua was the accuracy. That's the one thing he always had. He put it only where receivers can get it. And was it the 3rd and 6 where he rolls out to his left and he throws it to Matt Collins and he just hit the dirt? And it's just like, I feel like we broke Tua. And Tannehill's out there scrambling and throwing touchdowns. And at the end of the game, you can just imagine Chris Sims going, told you so. Tua's a boss. Should have kept Tannehill.
Listen, I'm so glad you went there. Again, we got Go Time Dolphin fans here. The Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche, Kadeem Simmons. Miami Dolphins still got 1 week to play, but have been eliminated from playoff contention. We family here, man. We could talk. I don't know if anyone listening to this podcast has ever had to have an intervention with a family member. This might be like the second time I said something like this too, but it's a real thing. You know, some of us have family members or friends who are like, man, we need to give this person an intervention, and it's a very serious thing. It's like, hey, we got to sit down. We love you. You know what I'm saying? We got to fix this, right? So that's the vibe that goes on here at Go Time Dolphins. Yeah, we might go out a couple heads, but at the same time, it's in love. Like, yo, we need to fix this. 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 Shout out to Sherrod Steve. Hit my phone last night. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. No, that's not what the intervention was for. Sherrod Steve straight. I was just gonna say for Go Time Dolphin listeners and new listeners, y'all know Sherrod Steve is on the show. We talk how we talk, and I could talk. Me and Kadeem could argue back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I probably wouldn't even think nothing different after the argument. Like, it's nothing. Me and LB have the most heated debates on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's family. Me and Steve could disagree all we want. You know what I'm saying? As a Dolphin fan, we have one goal, and there are multiple directions you could take to get to that desired address. All right. Shout out to Sherrod Steve. Hit me up last night. And I honestly said, I can't do this with you right now, bro. That was a text message. I can't do this with you right now. And he LOL'd and he said, all right, cool. Yes, all right, cool. Around the same time, I hollered at Kadeem and said, not tonight. We're not recording tonight. So in preparation, because I think there was like a 10-minute window where we thought we were still recording and we wanted to see the playoffs and what was going to happen with the playoffs. In preparation for the show, I thought we were going to record that night. I got to gather as much information as we can since we're going to record that night. And, just want to be factual and stuff like that. Steve in my phone, probably had a couple, you know what I'm saying? Probably had a couple, and he just going off. So I had to go back to what I wanted to bring up on the show today. And I watched the Saints, the Tua sack against the Saints at the end of the first half. You remember that? Where Tua took a sack, and that was a sack we couldn't take. And Steve came up. Say it again.
It took us out of field goal range, right? Or a manageable field goal range.
Right. It took us out of a manageable field goal, and Steve came on the show and said, yeah, that's a sack you can't take. So I text Steve last night, and we're not going to go into it too much because he's not here to defend himself. I'm not just going to attack my dog. That's not how we do it. So I text Steve last night a clip because I still got all the games on my DVR, so I got to watch them. So I go back to that game in preparation for the show, but since Steve want to do this, we got to spar. And I record the Tua sack right before the second half. This is the Saints game, Monday Night Football. And I text Steve and I say, what did you want Tua to do right here? Tua snaps the ball less than 2 seconds, where the fastest release in the NFL is like 2.2, right? Less than 2 seconds, he is on the ground because Cam Jordan beat Jesse Davis. All right. I text Steve, what did you want him to do here? Steve asked me like 12 questions. Bing! 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 I ain't gonna lie, I asked for it. And then he says, oh, so you want to do this right now? Bing! He did. So I'm like, all right, I kind of asked for it. You feel me? So, and all right, I'm saying? I wasn't ready. I'm saying? So he was bing, bing, bing. All right, we'll get there. But Steve, since you're listening to the show now, you still didn't answer my text, bro. What did you want him to do? You have the footage right there in front of you. Press play and look how fast Cam Jordan was in the backfield. Got sacked, right? Fast forward to yesterday's game. The camera looked like Flores was yelling at Tua about taking that sack, a sack that you couldn't take because we were probably going to either go for it on fourth down. We wanted to make it fourth and manageable, or we were maybe going to kick it. And Tua takes another sack. And turns out he was yelling at more than Tua, maybe not even Tua, but perception looked like he was yelling at Tua. And he was yelling at the O-line and everybody on the offense about, you got to get open faster. You got to block long enough so we can make this play happen. And you got to get the ball out of your hands. Apparently, that's what was said. So the replay was showed during the game where you're in shotgun and it's a 3-step drop from shotgun and you have to come up and throw this ball. And Steve texts, that's exactly what he was supposed to do in the Saints game. And that's why I sent them the Saints thing. I like, where do you see he didn't even get to the top of his drop back before even, he couldn't even come up plant, right? So this is the information that I gathered. And I'm going to go into this for a second. The same way you brought up Austin Jackson getting that penalty in the opening drive of the game, right? Stopped everything. We were moving. It looked good. Just like we did in the opening drive of the season against the Patriots. Drove down the field. It was like, oh, this is what I thought we was going to have. This is what I thought the season was going to look like. I thought we were ready, right? And this is the same thing with the Titans opening drive. And then it ended right there when AJ got the penalty. So I'm like, how come everybody ain't on, oh, this is Austin Jackson's fault? Because if that penalty didn't happen, right? So everybody will be real quick to go to Tua, though, and say, oh, Tua fumbled the ball, game's over. We were only down 10. First quarter. Game's over. We're down 10 first quarter. Game's over. Like, relax, people. So then they went up 17-3 in the second quarter. We had the whole game to score 2 touchdowns. The whole game. So where was the defense in between there, letting go 40-yard runs, all the way getting mudded out the whole field? You feel me? So I'm going to go back to this because I'm going to make this point. Where when Sherrod, and like I said, we're not going to go into it because he's not here to defend himself. When Sherrod Steve said, oh, you got Waddle, that's enough. I think he alluded to Gesicki. Like, yeah, I mean, Waddle's a one. Like, why do you need all these weapons? And I was like, yo, we need an abundance of weapons. Waddle vanished yesterday, a non-factor. So what happens when you shut this one receiver down that you have? Obviously nothing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have anything. The whole game scored 3 points, no Waddle. You feel me? Shut down Waddle. Yeah, everybody want to go to Burrow and Herbert. Burrow got Higgins Burrow got Chase, Mixon, a top 10 running back in the league, Austin Eckler to Herbert, top 10 running back in the league, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, multiple weapons, not just one weapon. You know what I'm saying? So when we go to O-line, yeah, we know how good Herbert's O-line is. And I will say this about Burrow's O-line. Yes, it's 29th in the league. We're still 32, bro. Like it's like we could be 40 if there's a 40. You know what I'm saying? So just because it's 2 spots better than us, don't mean it's like that as bad as us. Like we're terrible on the O-line. That being said, he still has multiple outlets. Joe Burrow does. All right. So we need more weapons, period. We need to fix the line, period. All right. So with all that being said, I've gathered this conclusion. What you're telling me is the O-line is so bad that we got to get this ball out so quick that when you're on 3rd and 8+ and 6 of the 7 third downs, our first 7 third downs, 6 of them were 3rd and 8 and more. That is prime time, get ready for an interception type stuff. Like you don't go in the 3rd and 8+ trying to convert. You just trying to get out of trouble. All right. And hopefully we convert. You're going to throw a pick in 3rd and 8+. We didn't throw no picks. You know what I'm saying? In 3rd and 8+. So like you can't have that situation. So here we are in a situation where it's 3rd and 9 and we drop back. Top of the route, Tua can't step up, takes a sack. Everybody's mad at Tua for taking this sack. No one's mad at the O-line for not blocking good enough. I don't understand how that happens, but we're here. So what I've concluded is Joe Burrow blows the ACL because the line can't protect him. Joey Bullets for the Bengals. Go time Dolphins, though. O-line couldn't protect Joey Bullets. He's out. Blew ACL. Everybody like, damn, that's messed up. O-line could protect him. Tua couldn't get protected by his O-line. Cracks a rib. Oh, Tua's injury prone. See, we can't use him. He's injury prone. All right, bro, how do you gather that? Like, is it not understood that they could not protect him? That's how he got hurt. It's not like he got hurt running the ball and was open in the wide open, took a hit and got hurt. He was not protected. So what I gathered, and I'm finally here at the conclusion. What I gathered was what you're telling me is because the O-line is so bad, you want this person, this quarterback, what's supposed to be your franchise, to step up, take the hit. Yeah, you're gonna do that. You're gonna take a couple of these. You step up, take the hit that shouldn't be a hit because it's less than 2 seconds, and O-line should have been able to block, and then potentially risk getting hurt, which is 50-50 at this point. If you get hit this quick, it's 50-50 if you're going to get hurt or not. And also risk throwing an interception because you had to get the ball out so fast because the pocket collapsed so quick. So forget the fact that no one was blocking for you. Just get the ball out, and whatever happens, happens. So it's a lose-lose. So either I take the sack and we're knocked out of field goal range because the O-line didn't block good enough, or I throw a pick and everybody says you shouldn't have threw that ball. You should have took the sack. Which one is it? Take the sack or throw the pick and have everybody say you should have took the sack. And Tannehill, Ryan Tannehill, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL is Ryan Tannehill. Today, no, I'm not even talking about when he played for us, because he was when he played for us too. Tannehill took like a record-breaking 58 sacks in one season. Something of that nature. It was up there, all right? And everybody said, oh, he takes too much sacks. Granted, he held on to the ball too long, and our O-line wasn't the best, so it was the perfect storm. So the thing is, when Tannehill was taking these sacks, everybody was on him. It's better than throwing the pick. So Tua can't get that. Tua can't get it's better than throwing the pick. And it's not like he holds on to the ball all the time. This is not like an issue. He holds on to the ball. It's a Tua issue. No, that's a Tannehill thing. So Tannehill right now is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. And guess who has the most sacks? Like, what defense? The Miami Dolphins. So you would think if we lead the league in sacks and Tannehill leads the league in most sacks, it's a perfect storm for us to create some business going on up in here. You know what I'm saying? Did we do that? No, because they didn't throw the ball. My thing is, why did we throw the ball 40 times in the rain when they knew not to let Tannehill throw the ball more than 20? Help me understand that.
I can't there's no explanation for that. But I don't think some of that explains why Tua was so bad yesterday. Because again, he legit missed wide open receivers at least twice, from my memory, at least twice. And there were times where he was throwing the ball. I remember there's one throw to Devontae Parker where I think there's like 3 guys around Parker. Don't throw it to him. There's a bunch of guys around him. But even that, he missed Parker so badly that the DB behind him dropped the ball. And it's like, that's interception. And I think while I 100% take on the points you just made, that doesn't excuse why Tua played so bad yesterday, even when he did have time in the pocket, even when he did throw the ball and get the ball out. The offensive line, I think up until the fourth quarter, there were no drops. I think the fourth quarter, that's when I think like after that, or around that deep throw to Waddle was when Tua kind of like finally woke up, and then the receiver started dropping the ball. And it's like, okay, well at this point, like we are literally never meant to win this game. But after the Austin Jackson penalty and before the deep throw to Jalen Waddle, the offensive line, while playing bad, doesn't excuse the fact why Tua was missing wide open receivers and just sailing passes like I would play quarterback. Now, yes, the ball is slippery, the ball is wet, it's raining. That plays a factor. I'm not trying to say here that doesn't play a factor, but even then, like, and again, this isn't me. I want to make this crystal clear. This isn't me jumping us to a train. I am still firmly on that train. We lost a lot of passengers yesterday. A lot. I'm still the conductor. I'm still the driver.
You the driver?
I'm still driving that train. Do not get it twisted. I'm just saying, while the points you made were relevant factors as to why it completely went to bed yesterday, I still don't think that excuses a number of throws which were just, which to me cannot be defended. Like I said, the throw to Matt Collins. I think there's one to Isaiah Ford. There's multiple passes over guys said. I think there's like a really easy one to Jalen Waddle in the flats, completely misses him. There's one which he sells over Jalen Waddle. Even Waddle's just like, dude, man, come on. Like, if you had the answer to as to why those throws happen, I would genuinely love to hear it, because those are the ones where when Share Right Steve messages, when random guys on social media, when Chris Sims, Colin Howard, when they bring up those throws, I feel like those are the ones that we're going to have to kind of just go, yeah, hands up, that's awful.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I open up with, yo, Tua picked a bad day to have a bad game. Like, you can't have this game on this day. You can't do it. And it's it wasn't under the lights, but everybody's watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unacceptable. There's no excuse for that. There's no reason for it. There's no excuse for that. Okay, cool. But it is what it is. So I don't know if I go to the extreme of saying he's not the quarterback, because look what he just did in this game. Not he doesn't do that consistently. This is not Tua consistently. This isn't Tua's identity. You see what I'm saying? So for Ryan Tannehill to get 7 seasons with the Miami Dolphins, was it 6 or 7? It's 7, ain't it?
I'll double check.
Can you also double check where the Titans O-line ranks, please? Stat check, fact check. Appreciate you. So for Ryan Tannehill to get 7 seasons with the Miami Dolphins and Tua get a season and a half, basically, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how we come to this conclusion. And Tua is better right now than Ryan Tannehill was in his first 2 seasons in Miami. So I don't understand how Tannehill gets 7 seasons. And I ain't gonna lie, I'll take Tua over Tannehill right now too. I'm gonna be fair. Like, I'm gonna be really real with you. I'll take Tua right now over Ryan Tannehill today. You said no, Kadeem?
No. I'm looking at the So right now I'm looking at the pass protection ratings, which is a blend of, and this table is a blend of the PFF grade and ESPN pass block win rate. That's what I was shaking my head to.
No, I'm just talking about the O-line rankings for the Titans total, because they run the ball too. Kadeem.
Oh, okay. Right now, I've only got the pass protection ratings. So in this table that I've got in front of me right now, before I get the other one, this is the one which has the Dolphins at 32, the Bengals at 29, and the Titans at 30. That's why I was just like,
bro, I'm talking about. I wanted the Russian like line, because obviously they ran on us and they got Derrick Henry, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So hold up, cool. But listen, at the end of the day, right? So here we are. We have concluded. Well, the consensus have concluded that Tua ain't it, and I want to know how we got here. I really do. Like, has this happened multiple times before? Nah, he wet the bed probably twice before this. That off the top of my dome, I can remember maybe twice he wet the bed. This was the worst, and the timing wasn't good. But I don't see it, man. I feel like there are so many things wrong with this team, and Tua is not at the top of the list. Like, if you tell me right now the things that are wrong with this team, and you have Tua at the top of the list, we got to reevaluate. There's no way you have we need a Tua before we need a better O-line, or we need a quarterback before O-line. The quarterback play is worse than the O-line play, or the linebacker play, or the quarterback play is worse than the linebacker play. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's no rushing game, when that could be fixed by the O-line as well. You feel me? I can't even put that on all the running backs, and we have a plethora of running backs all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yo, if we're really doing this and we really want what's best for the franchise, there's no way we could start with, we got to get a new quarterback. There's no way.
So I'm probably going to need to sign up to something to get, the up-to-date offensive line position rankings. Right now, I'm on PFF.com. I'm looking at an article headlined NFL Week 15 offensive line rankings. Now, this is Week 15, 2 weeks behind. There's not been much change, in my opinion. So again, this is PFF. This isn't me. So, number one, the Cowboys is what it is. Lo and behold, the Dolphins are 32. This is Week 15, but they haven't got that much better in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
I just want to read what it says about the Dolphins offensive line before we move on to the Titans and the Bengals. Miami's offensive line isn't just the worst in the NFL, it is a historically bad unit. The group is allowing the highest pressure rate in the league, 43.3%, despite being well protected with RPOs and quick passing. Tua Tagovailoa's average depth of target is just 6.9 yards downfield, the second lowest in the league. Miami rosters 3 of the NFL's 10 worst offensive linemen this season in terms of total pressure surrendered.
Wait. Say that last line one more time. Sorry.
Miami rosters 3 of the NFL's 10 worst offensive linemen this season.
Hold on. You said 3 of the worst 10 in the NFL?
Yeah.
They start for us, or they just rostered for us?
It said Miami rosters 3.
Okay.
That's
wild though, but go ahead.
And nobody boasts an overall PFF grade higher than 63 overall, which is, friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt. It is a minor miracle that Tagovailoa looks functional behind this line. This is Week 15. The Bengals in this list are 22nd.
That's where I got the 22nd from that one day when I said the Bengals were 22nd.
And find out the last line of that thing is, pass blocking is the biggest issue for the group, with just one starter, Jonah Williams, earning a grade of 65 in that area. And then the Titans are 19th. It says on the Titans, Derrick Henry's absence changes how the Titans offense operates on a fundamental level, and even the offensive line doesn't look the unit it once was. It is still a significantly better run blocking line than it is in pass protection, but since Henry went down, none of the starters have a run blocking grade higher than 73.7. Before Henry's injury, the worst run blocking grade among the starters was 71.3. Pass protection is where the real problems lie, however, with David Quintonberry offsetting some elite run blocking with 9 sacks surrendered and 10 knockdowns of the quarterback. So Titans 19, Bengals was it 21? I said no, comment. Bengals,
Yeah,
well,
Bengals 22. Bengals 22. Titans have the 19th, and the Dolphins are like 42nd in the 32 team league. I don't know how you do that. So how about this though? Derrick Henry's still like 6th overall in rushing in the NFL, and he hasn't played in like how many weeks? How long has Derrick Henry been out? Like 6 weeks, and he's still say what?
I think so. Yeah,
Like he's been out 5-6 weeks, and he's still ranked 6th in rushing in the league, bro. Like I want that O-line. Straight up, give me that. So at least we can run the ball. You see what I'm saying? So and I need to point this out. I'm not getting on Sir Rusty, but I didn't finish my point about that. No. Remember when Tua took that sack in the Saints game, and everybody said Tua can't take that sack? What I pointed out earlier, right?
Yeah.
That was the same drive, Kadeem, where Austin Jackson got a holding penalty, took us back 10 yards, right? Same drive. This is we're in the Saints territory. I want to be very, 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 very clear. This is not when we're driving and the drive just started. We are in Saints territory. Austin Jackson gets a 10-yard penalty, puts us back. Mike Dieter gets a 10-yard penalty, holding, puts us back. The replay where Flores blew it and almost called timeout, but didn't call timeout and didn't have the team ready. That was the same drive. Didn't cost us anything, but yet Tua takes a sack because the line couldn't block, and it's Tua's fault that we weren't in field goal range. Not the 20 yards of penalties, holding penalties. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, people, what we doing, bro? What are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Tua got to play better. Picked the wrong time to have a bad game, but I don't think this is his identity. Y'all got to feel me. If Tua always played like this, I would not be up here beating the drum like, let's keep him. I'll be like, he's done. Get him out of here. We need a new quarterback. But he doesn't always play like this. This is far and few in between.
Yeah, and like you can tell that my mind is just racing and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Again, I also said to you on that phone call on Saturday night, and but this is a wider point. The Dolphins are out of the playoff hunt not because of what happened on Sunday. It ended on Sunday. That's not the reason. The reason the Dolphins are in this position is because they started 1-7. It's because in the second game of the season, when Tua went out injured with the score at 0-0, Jacoby Brissett came in and stunk up the place for 4 games. And then Tua came back in at what? 1-4 or 1-5?
1 and something because we lost to the Jaguars and the Falcons.
Yeah. So it must be 1-5 because Tua comes in.
Yeah.
1-5, loses 2 games, take 2 games that we should not have lost, and this is where my Tua love shines through, and where my Tua blinkers are on. Tua left the field against the Jaguars and the Falcons, the Dolphins in the lead. That he left the field, Dolphins were winning. He could have not even been on the bench. He could have been in the showers, enjoying himself. Not like that. Let's
What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with Kadeem, man? Hey, family show.
He could have been anywhere. He could have been asleep on the sideline. Put it that way. He was like, I went to sleep.
He could have took his shoulder pads off like AB.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We are gonna get to that. But yeah, Tua came off the field, and the team was winning. And
both games.
And when the whistle was blown in both those games, the Dolphins had lost.
Tua plays defense.
Clearly. But again, listen. We can point back to all the good games Tua had, all the good throws, all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't change the fact that in the game, in probably the biggest game of Tua's life in the NFL, after the Bills game last season, to put in nicely, he wet the bed. To me, there's no two ways about that. I can't come on this podcast and basically put it any other way. Like, I can't turn around and go, oh, but like there's no buts. Tua had arguably the worst game of his career as a Miami Dolphin in a game in which it could not have happened. We'll go back, we'll break down where it went wrong. There's so many episodes to discuss this.
Hey,
there's a legit conversation as to why 2 years in a row in winning in games, basically, the entire team went to bed. Brian Flores got out coached twice, but
I want to say something about that Jags game because this is relevant, and I'm gonna say why. We didn't miss the playoffs yesterday. That's not when we missed the playoffs. We missed the playoffs in one of them 7 games. One of those 7 games that we didn't win in that streak. That's what cost us the playoffs. If you ask me, it was the Jags or the Atlanta game, but you didn't ask me. Here's my thing. The Jags game, everybody says Flores got outcoached. He made some pretty bad decisions in that game. And I defend him for it because of this. And I'm going to be fair. I'm not as sold on Flores as I used to be. I want to be very, very, very clear. We should not move on from Flores. We should not move on from Greer. However, it is apparent that Flores's offensive mind is not what we need for this football team. And I'm going to be real with you. I remember saying, well, who do you bring in for the offensive coordinator? And I'm going to be clear with you again. Lights out. I'm going to be clear with you again. I do not think we should change OCs because we have continuity there. Although it was terrible play calling yesterday. I don't like it, but whatever. When you go into a tempest or a hurricane and these conditions and you want to throw it 40 times, I got to question some stuff. So Flores' offensive prowess is not where it needs to be. Yes, you're a defensive-minded coach. Josh Boyer does good on the defense. Flores, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. But it does make me like, yo, Doug Peterson out there, bro. He out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll take the job, but he's out there. Is it Doug Peterson? It is Doug Peterson. Yeah, Doug Peterson. So, I mean, it kind of makes me like, yo, I feel like the offense is overwhelming for Flores, and he needs someone he can just give the offense to. Like, not have to worry, not have to have any input, not have to be the head coach, the DC, and the offensive of let me help you out with the offense type guy. I think he needs to hire someone where he could just hand the offense over to and let that guy have the offense. But I don't think we should change OCs. So it's crazy. But if we absolutely had to change OCs, then yes, that's exactly what I'll say. Go get someone who can do this. And if you ask me, should we? I'll say no because we have continuity. What was you about to say? Because I still got to make that point. Go ahead.
Very quickly, and it goes back to the play calling, and it's a point you made earlier. I should have kind of brought it up. Jacoby Brissett, the backup quarterback, and Mike Gesicki, the tight end, threw deep passes before Tua was allowed to, which again screams, I don't know what you're thinking, but this isn't working. For whatever reason, when that's part of the game plan, be it intentional or not, that your starting quarterback is the third person to throw a deep pass, you're asking to get. And I didn't want to use this sound drop because it's normally a great sound drop. But
no, don't do it. Not right now.
Dude.
No. Let me finish my point, man. We're not doing that. So look, listen. We were in Jacksonville. And before I make that point about Jacksonville, what felt worse, Kadeem? This loss or the Jacksonville loss?
Oh, this loss, 100%.
Yeah. This feels like the Jacksonville loss. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I remember sitting front row seat literally to that Jacksonville album. Like, this feels just as bad.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. To me, this loss is worse. Is because in both games, it's the hope that kills you. But with this game, the hope was over. Realistically, at 17-3, I was resigned to defeat. Like, I was still hoping that we come back into it, but I was just like, it's not our day.
Yeah.
Same with the Bills last year. That Jacksonville game, shout out to 5-year Lee, I was sitting next to him. Even with that field goal, I was still like, he's gonna miss. Like, and then it's like, oh. And again, at that point, we were on a losing streak. Like, this was the momentum coming into this game. You said it yourself. Styles wins fights, or
Styles make fights.
The Stars make fights. This game was just, this wasn't Tua coming off of a rib injury. This wasn't, a 8-hour flight trip. This was, you're on a 7-game win streak. You have the most fair defense.
You're playing the team that gives up the most sacks. You have the most sacks. You were supposed to win this game.
Your run defense is amazing against a team with no Derrick Henry. Xavier Howard said it. We know the weaknesses of Ryan Tannehill. If you know the weaknesses of Ryan Tannehill, why are you letting him scramble like Kyler Murray and throw wide open touchdown passes because no one is covering tight ends? Why? And very, very quickly, in no shape or form do I blame the referees for that defeat, because it wasn't. No. People trying to say, like the defensive pass interference on Nick Needham, which was never defense. Like, listen, we didn't lose the game because that defensive pass interference put the Titans in field goal range and they won. We lost the game because slap. That's why we lost.
Come on, bro.
I didn't do it. I just said it.
Hey, listen, another thing about the referees. I need to clear some stuff up. The fumble that was a fumble but didn't go to us because Agba came up with the ball. I need to clarify some stuff. Yes, it was called a fumble on the field. All right. It was called a fumble on the field. And what happens is there's a scrum at the bottom of the fumble. All right. The ball exchanges hands 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the bottom of a pile. That's why the refs come and they pick people up off the pile and they see who comes up with the ball. All right. When the ref says, oh, white ball, the scrum is over. They don't care who keeps going after the scrum. White ball, that's it. All right. So, and this is going to Flores again. So what happened with the Agba fumble recovery was we got a fumble. Agba comes out with the ball, but it was still after the ref already ruled it was blue ball. Like, hey, blue ball. So yeah, people still gonna go after the ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the ref's word for it that he's seen possession in the Titans' hands, and he called it right there. All right, Titans got it, blue ball. They kept going like every pile does, and then Agba came out with it. So for Flores not to know you can't challenge that, and he still wanted to challenge it, that is the type of stuff that makes me question some things. Like, bro, you can't challenge something like that. You know what I'm saying? You should at least know you can't challenge something like that. So I don't, and that's happened more than once where he would challenge something and I'm like, this is not the best challenge, or he would attempt to challenge something where I'm like, you can't even challenge that. So I don't really like that about my head coach. I love a lot. And here's another thing, fellas, or ladies and gentlemen, just because I don't like Flores challenging win percentage, I guess, doesn't mean I want a new head coach. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because
I'm gonna name this Charlie wants a new coach after the Titans.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I don't like what he thinks he can, the fact he doesn't know what he could challenge doesn't mean, oh, we need a new head coach because he didn't know he couldn't challenge that. No, bro. Like, he has great things that he brings to the table, and there's a couple things he need to work on. Same thing with Tua. He has great things he brings to the table, and there's a couple things he needs to work on. I'm not going to go throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? So in the Jacksonville game, it's funny because he had 2 challenges in the Jacksonville game that were the play stood, and we didn't get it. And both challenges, the players was like, oh, you got to challenge it, you got to challenge it, you got to challenge it. And we missed both of them. All right. And I don't put that on Flores because you want to trust your players. Players put them in a bad position. We didn't win those challenges. Now, look, there was 2 4th downs in that Jacksonville game. We ran for them, both of them, and didn't get neither one of them. All right. So what Brian Flores told his players was, hey, we're going to go for it. And I trust y'all to get this, to not make me look bad. All right. So everybody, for everyone to say, oh, Brian Flores got our coach. He should have kicked it. He should have punted it away, and we should have played for overtimes. overtime against Jacksonville. We should have played for overtime against a 21 straight loss team. Like, this team lost 21 straight, and we're going to play for overtime against Jacksonville. Man, if you don't get this 1 yard, you know what I'm saying? If you go run this ball on 4th and 1 and get this 1 yard, you don't deserve to win. We didn't win in Jacksonville. That's why we lost. So it is what it is. We didn't deserve to win in Jacksonville. We didn't deserve to win in Tennessee. And now we're out the playoffs, probably going to end up 1 game short again from the playoffs. 1 game short from the playoffs. I want to be very clear. How do you blow something like that up? You're 2 seasons back-to-back, 1 game short. And you lost your quarterback for 4 games this year.
I'll tell you why. And these guys need to start charging us for when we say this. Shout out to Josh Casca and his brother having the brain, because it's those same old Dolphins. The Dolphins win 10 games in a season and miss the playoffs. The following season, the NFL adds an extra game to the schedule, and the Dolphins could potentially lose out by one game. And again, that goes back to it's not like the Dolphins finished 17-1 or 16-1, whatever. It would be 16-1, and that one defeat is the game that cost them. No, the Dolphins might finish 9-8, which meant that there were 8 games the Dolphins should have won, and two of them we lost to last second walk-off field goals.
At least 5 of those 8 we should have won. Like, there's a legitimate 5 of those games we should have won. I'm not gonna say we should have won all 8, but I do feel you. I feel you, Kadeem. It's gonna be fun this offseason. I don't have as much of a headache I thought I was gonna have doing the show. I credit that to you, Kadeem. I love you like a brother, Holmes. We're gonna get into the offseason. We're gonna not even just the offseason. This next couple weeks, we're gonna bring a lot of people on the show so we could talk about where we went wrong, what we could have done, what we should do, the changes we should make, the changes we shouldn't make. For the record, I'll just leave it right here. I don't think we need to change anything. I want to be clear. We need to win these games, but we shouldn't change our head coach. You're right there. You're knocking on the door. You shouldn't change your GM. You're right there. You're knocking on the door. And you shouldn't change your quarterback that you only had for a season and a half. He's only played a season and a half. Literally. Only played a season and a half, but y'all want to get rid of him. Cool. So, about to get into bonus time. It's a tough L, man. Tough. But hey, we here. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Go Time Dolphins. But I feel like there's only one conversation to be had. One time. Dude, there's only one. Now, I was kind. The Dolphins. Listen, I'm gonna have some fun right now because I need some laughter. On Sunday afternoon, evening for me, as the Dolphins played Tennessee, and you just heard up and down that field. On another field, we saw this. Now, I don't have an NFL helmet, but it's my NFL helmet. This is my NFL jersey. We saw this. This is what we saw. We saw that. We saw jump up and down, excuse my stomach. We saw that. Antonio Brown, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver, said, "Fluff you guys. I'm done." He said, "I ain't doing this no more." He said, "I'm going home." Who was the Bills?
Vontae Davis, former Miami Dolphin. Listen, Vontae Davis. I gotta call grandma. Vontae Davis pulled his best Soldier Boy impersonation yesterday. He stole my whole flow. That's my whole flow. Bro, AB quit in the middle of a football game, said, "I'm out of here." Vontae Davis retired at halftime for the Bills. AB said, "Yo, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of here." Bruce Arians said, "Oh, he's no longer a Buccaneer. He can't play here no more." You didn't fire AB. He already quit. Dog quit, bro. He quit. You didn't fire AB, bro.
That
He
was
quit.
the Bucks saving face. No, he didn't quit. He fight. Listen, no, listen. He quit. It's done. So on this very, 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 very podcast, you to both me, to Sherwan, Steve, and you've done this for well over a year now. You've made the point the Dolphins should go and sign Antonio Brown. Have you not made that point multiple times?
I have made a point for over 1 year, calendar year. That the matter of fact, it's
probably longer.
It's longer than that. Dolphins need to go get Antonio Brown. I have made that point.
So we've been recording for an hour and 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we started this conversation, for me anyway, on Monday, January 3rd. It's now Tuesday, January 4th. So I'm into a new day, a whole new day. On Tuesday, January 4th for me, but on Monday, January 3rd for you, Mr. Charlie Touche, do you still want Antonio Brown as a Miami Dolphin next season?
All right, so check it out.
Listen, it's a yes. It's a
yes. Listen.
Wait, as a journalist, I am told don't ask yes/no questions because you're going to get a yes/no answer. End. So I'm asking you a simple yes. No. I'm being a bad journalist right now. Yes/no question. Do you want Antonio Brown as a Dolphin next season? Yes or no? That's all I need. Yes or no?
It's funny because when we started this podcast, I went to Kadeem. He was like my 3rd round pick, and I said, "Hey, Kadeem, I went to like 2 other people before you." Now I didn't tell him though. And I'm like, "We should start a podcast." And then he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll be happy to." And I told Kadeem for like 6 months, "I'm gonna start a podcast." And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna listen to it." And then I went to him to help me co-host it. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll do it." And then I told Kadeem, I really did say this, and I don't know if he remembers, but I said, "Yeah, man, we just gonna talk football." And I wanted to be like just 2 friends talking Dolphins, like the same way we exchange voice notes. We need to just put that in the podcast. It's not like we're real journalists. And Kadeem never corrected me. I didn't know Kadeem was really a journalist, right? I said that, but I didn't know he was a journalist. I don't know, but listen. AB, here we go. Bert asked me if I still wanted AB yesterday too. So here we are. Look. The reason AB quit yesterday is because he has an incentive-laden contract where he only gets paid $3 million. And his incentives, they were like attainable. He needed like 13 receptions in 2 games. He needed like 300 yards in the last 2 games. And he needed maybe 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Something of that nature. It was, yeah.
I thought it was 55 yards, 1 touchdown, and something else. And I think
in 3 games?
Something like that.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll go with this.
I'll find it.
He needed something that was attainable. In the last 2 games of the season, he needed it. All right. And he must have felt like I'm wrong for putting this in his mind, but maybe he felt like, yo, I need my targets, I need my catches, I need to get this incentive. Y'all cost me $1 million. to be fair, you kind of cost yourself $1 million because you came with that vaccination card. So you got yourself suspended, and it wouldn't have ended up on this what's up, Kadeem?
So it was 8 more catches,
No
55
way.
receiving yards, and 1 touchdown.
Hold on, you sure? No. You sure that's not what it is now? You sure that's what it was before the game yesterday?
All I'm seeing is this is the exact word of what I'm seeing. Antonio Brown needed 8 more catches to unlock a $333,333 bonus. He also needed 55 receiving yards and 1 touchdown to basically earn himself $1 million.
Right. All right. So y'all heard the numbers right there. So it was incentive.
Yeah.
All right. He needed to get his incentives. Still kind of attainable. He's still attainable. What we don't know is maybe Tampa was planning on not playing Brady next week or something. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I'm not going to get my incentives if Brady ain't playing next week. Or if y'all pull Brady in the third quarter, who's going to throw me the ball to get my money? Because y'all promised me I was going to get this contract, and y'all told me if I take three M's, I'll come to y'all and I'll play for y'all, and y'all didn't help me out. But listen, ain't no way under the sun I want AB anymore, man. Like, come on, people. I need y'all to be real, bro. Like, come on. I'm not just some guy behind a microphone that just says stuff, bro. No way I would take this guy, bro. Like, that is now, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think he would have did that because he would have got his targets. He would have got his contract. He would have reached his incentives if he played for the Dolphins. They would have over. Waddle's gonna break 1,000 yards and 100 receptions. He would have been number 2. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sherrod Steve, my dog. Oh, you only need 1 weapon. No, you don't, bro. Like, how many receivers go out there and we got 2,000-yard receivers? That used to be a thing. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. You know what I'm saying? Cooper Kupp and what's dude's name who just got hurt? And Robert is it? Robert Woods, right? Robert Woods. You know what I'm saying? 2,000-yard receivers on one team. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You know what I'm saying? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. We could go on and on and on. All right. So we need more weapons. But nah, bro. Ain't no way under the sun. It's done for AB. There's no way another team brings him in, bro. There is no way, bro.
What if? Now, this is just a rumor. It's just a report. Antonio Brown claims ankle injury prevented him from re-entering the game. Now, allegedly, he didn't want to go back into the game because he had an ankle injury. The Bucs were like, dude, get in the game, your ankle's fine, blow up, shirt off, all that kind of stuff. Now, just say that is the genuine truth. Antonio Brown's ankle was hurting, and he said, I'm not going back into the game because I'm hurt, I'm injured. If that is the case, does that change your mind?
No, bruh. You can't act like this, bruh. Like, you cannot act like this, bruh. You can't do it, bruh. Bruh, did you see this? Dog, Mike Evans tried to save him, bruh. He tried. Hey, get you a friend that tries to help you like Mike Evans does, man. Because Mike Evans tried to save this dude's career, bruh.
Listen, and again, I'm not here to say I told you so. It's genuinely unfortunate. What's interesting is that people are going back to the Vontaze Burfict dirty hit on Antonio Brown. And people saying he's the same after that. We don't know. That one head injury could have changed the entire trajectory of his career. What I do find interesting is all the things Antonio Brown had done off the field to get himself suspensions, kicked off teams, all of that stuff, people were happy to just go, it's fine. He quit on his team middle of the game, and everyone said, that's it, I'm done. Get out of here. Get out of here. And you're one of those people. I said to you, this was going to happen. I literally said, you know, in other teams, it come at the end of the season. I was like, pre-season week 2, week 3, Antonio Brown going to do something. Listen, we started this podcast talking about the the negatives of doing this podcast. When after a bad game, after a bad loss, after a bad performance, you don't want to open yourself up to the world and for the world to see you hurting. But one of the many joys about this podcast is genuine moments like that, where I'm quite a dark and twisted person. I will always try and find the comedy in the most dark and twisted situations, where we can sit here and laugh and listen, this Dolphins defeat is gonna hurt until week 1 of the next season. There's no two ways about it. But in that time on this podcast, me and you are going to have so many laughs, so many jokes, so many moments where, and I think that's one of the positives about listening to the podcast. You're down about this Dolphins defeat, but I would like to think that we can bring a sliver of joy through all this darkness and go, do you know what? Yeah, these two guys are crazy, but they've, put a smile to my face. And no, I'll say it, dude. I told you so. I told you. I told you.
Look, man. Hey, that was well said, bro. Man, bro. AB, bro. Look. And Twitter got jokes talking about, oh, it's Devontae's birthday hit. Nah, it's a cumulative hits to the head. And a very real thing, CTE is real. And unfortunately, the NFL haven't found a way. Yeah, I wasn't, my English, I think, my English wasn't the best. But look, in high school. But the NFL haven't found a way. Hasn't found a way to prevent brain damage. All right. And they need to address it. It is a real thing. And this, all jokes aside, not just AB, but CTE has become a real thing since we found out about it recently. This is like, how long has it been? Like less than 10 years now that we learned about CTE. So, I'm a proponent where like, we need to focus on the health. Like if we got to stop playing football for 2 seasons, like for real, the whole no football for 2 years, and then they find a solution for head trauma, I'm all for it. No football for 2 years, we got to fix it. But the way we're going, someone said on Twitter, oh, at this rate, the NFL is going to look like the NBA. And no one's going to be able to like get tackled or whatever. And I said, if that prevents 20 and 30 something year olds from getting brain damage for our entertainment, then that's what needs to happen. But reality is, bro, like it's a brutal game, man. I think he got issues. We always thought he had issues, but it is what it is, bro.